Today we're going to talk all about Disney Cruise Line. As someone who has traveled on a couple different cruise lines out there are 5 things that I think are important to note when you're considering a Disney cruise, things that are going to help you when you're booking, things that you're going to want to make sure are part of your itineraries, and what you need to know to maximize your time on your Disney cruise. So stay tuned. The first thing everyone asks me when they're thinking about a Disney cruise is it only for kids? What if I have older kids, or just an adults only trip? This is where Disney has done a great job, not only in their parks, but also on their cruise lines. They have a lot of dedicated adult only spaces and family friendly options. So let me break down how this worked for us on our recent cruise. Our kids loved, and when I say loved, they loved the kids clubs. My kids are 6 and 8, and they spent a ton of time, not all day long by any means, but good chunks of time enjoying the kids club, making friends, and seeing different characters and doing different activities in that space. That allowed us some time to explore some of the adult only spaces. And yes, Disney Cruise Line does have adult only spaces on board their ships. This is something that I don't think a lot of people realize. There's the Quiet Cove, which is a fantastic place to get some crafted cocktails or coffees. There's also quiet pool areas where you can go and have no kids around, no splashing, none of that. Lots of lounge chairs, even big couches that we had on the Wish that were overlooking the views from the top decks of the ship. Again, all adult only spaces. They'll also have some adult-centered entertainment. So there's going to be some different variety shows or trivia nights, different things that you can go and explore in the different lounges that are on board. And let's talk about lounges. The lounges are wonderful. Each ship is going to have slightly different lounges on board that are going to feature different cocktails. Some of them are very highly themed, like Nightingales, which is on the Disney Wish, and that's featuring beautiful piano and bubbles, and it very much gives that Cinderella vibe. Or Hyperspace Lounge, which is a Star Wars themed lounge that is full of really fun drinks and different experiences, like you're sitting on a ship out in outer space. The other thing that you'll want to think about is the adult-only dining options on board. Yes, there are also some opportunities for you to dine in an adult-only space. Paolo being one of the most popular across a lot of the ships. That's going to be a great place to get a brunch reservation or even swap out one of your main dining dinner nights for that adult-only space. So again, you may think Disney, you may think kids only. It's actually everything for everyone. So make sure that you consider that when you're planning your Disney cruise. The second thing I want to talk about is the idea of rotational dining. This is unique to Disney Cruise Line. This is not something you find on other ships or other cruise lines that are out there. Every night of your sailing, you will be going to a different restaurant and having a different experience. The menus will change up night over night. The theming is going to be different. And depending on the ship you're on and the itinerary, you may visit some of these places more than once, but they will change the menu so that you're not getting the same meal more than one time on your sailing. This is a great way to create variety. It also is a really fantastic way to spread out the crowds of a ship. I've been on other cruise lines before where you have a large main dining hall, which is pretty typical for most cruises. And you really do feel like there's a lot of people in that space during all of those dinner hours. Because of the rotational dining and the different locations of these restaurants on board a Disney cruise ship, you're actually splitting up the crowds of people at those key dinner times at different destinations and different places, so you never really feel like you're overcrowded or you're sitting around a lot of different people. The other thing that's really special about the rotational dining is that your cruise staff, your serving staff will move with you night to night. So if they really get to know your dining preferences, your allergies, any restrictions that you have with your meals, they're going to know that from day one, and they're going to be with you every night, no matter which restaurant you're dining in. And that is such a nice peace of mind, especially if you have some food allergies in your group. So rotational dining is definitely unique to Disney and something that you will be able to take advantage of with any one of your sailings. That's all included in your cost. The third thing I want to talk about is the private island. Now, there is a private island for Disney, and there's a private destination on another island that you can get in most of your Caribbean and Bahama sailings. Castaway Cay is the true one and only Disney island that exists, and it is part of most of the Bahamas and Caribbean itineraries that Disney will sail. This island is not to be missed. Castaway Cay is a great spot to just truly unwind or choose your own adventure and go and explore through a lot of different water activities, beach activities, and even a thrill park as well. There's also a kids club on board the island. So if your kids really enjoyed making friends and want to spend time with all kids their age, you can also drop them off at the kids club for a little bit, and you can go to some of those, yes, adult only beaches if you prefer, where it's going to be a little quieter, a little more calm, and a little more relaxed. So Castaway Cay is a spot that you definitely want to prioritize when you're choosing an itinerary for your sailing, and you want to make sure that you spend most of your day there. Let's talk about price, because this is what I hear from a lot of people. Okay, well, Disney sounds really wonderful, but why is it so much higher than what I can get with, say, Royal Caribbean? There are a few reasons. One of them is that there are Broadway-style entertainment shows. Now, you'll hear a lot of other cruise lines talk about their state-of-the-art entertainment, but none of them at this point are able to really produce the quality of a Broadway show the way that Disney does. Disney does have Broadway shows. They have rights to be able to duplicate those shows anywhere that they please. And the shows that you can find on a Disney cruise are truly unmatched in terms of talent, in terms of production quality, and variety that you're gonna get. The other thing is, your soft drinks and beverages are all included in your fare cost with Disney Cruise Line. Every other cruise line out there, if you want to add sodas and extra drinks on top of just the usual water and coffee, you're going to have to pay for a basic beverage package for those sailings. And so you're already getting a lot more included in that original cost with the addition of things like unlimited soft serve and all of your basic fountain drinks. They also have fireworks at sea, and that is a really fun experience. If you're going to sail, there's always going to be one night that's going to be themed to Pirate Night, and you will get fireworks at sea, and there is no one else that does it. Again, the attention to detail in the production quality of the shows, the entertainment, and even the games and different activities that are on board is really next level. This is one of the things that Disney has always done well, and you'll see that done in a very, very successful way across the cruise experience. I also personally noticed, and I will say this is true from being on a couple different cruise lines, the cleanliness on these ships is unmatched. It is truly a place where you're always seeing people cleaning things off, cleaning things down. One of the best examples I have is eating in the buffet. Every cruise ship is going to have a buffet that you can go to, pick up your food, and kind of go take it as you go and be a little more flexible with your dining. On Disney, it is, yes, there's tons of buffet options there. However, it's not a buffet where you're pulling out your own silverware out of a bucket. You're not reaching in and getting your own food. It is all being served to you over covered areas. So it definitely feels like you're not going to get as many hands in the food, which definitely brings me a little peace of mind when it comes to germs and things like that. They do have rolled utensils for you at the tables, so you're not having to go and reach in and get them from one designated area. And they are constantly wiping down and cleaning off and overturning those tables quickly throughout the entire time that those buffets are open. So when I think about that service quality and the dedication to the cleanliness, it is really, really unmatched. Those are some of the reasons that you're going to find that higher price point, because of the quality of the goods, the quality of the service, and overall just the add-ons that you don't have to add on separately that are already included in your cruise fare. Finally, fifth thing that I always tell people, when it comes to Disney Cruise Line, and truly most cruise lines, booking early can make a big difference. These are not mega ships like you can find on, say, Royal Caribbean or Celebrity or Carnival. These are going to be smaller ships, which means that there's less people on board. Instead of having 7,000 people like you can get on Royal Caribbean, these are going to be under 3,000 people, maybe under 4,000 people. So it's going to be over half of the amount of guests on board, which means if you have a specific area on the ship that you prefer to be in, for example, maybe you're prone to seasickness and you want to be more midship, those rooms are going to go pretty quickly, and there aren't as many of them. If you really want a veranda view room where you can really sit out there and enjoy your views, again, you're going to want to make sure that you book early because those can go quickly. So if you want prime spaces, prime selection of both the itinerary and the stateroom, and you want to pay the lowest price, your best bet is to book as early as possible. These are typically booking 1.5 years to 2 years in advance, and they're always dropping new dates. So if you are considering a Disney cruise, don't wait, book early, and know that you're going to have an amazing time while you're there. One thing I didn't mention that I want to make sure I share with you is that the other included benefit to having a Disney cruise experience is that your 24/7 room service is included in your fare as well. Definitely want to tip your cast members if you do take advantage of this, but it's one of our favorite things to do is to order that coffee, have it ready for us in the morning and a couple snacks, sit on that veranda and soak in the sea views. There's nothing like it. So if you've been curious about a Disney cruise, I hope this list helped you out. Let me know in the comments if you have more questions about it. I would love to answer those for you. Thanks for watching.